Mm. By the way, we have on Tuesday, of course, you're aware of uh, our Jeddah virtual pavilion. This is a series of workshops and cultural encounters, and they are meant to kind of rise up to the occasion and have, cultural fun, if you like. So on Tuesday, inshallah, we'll have Dr. Ola from the Jordan branch. They have a master's degree in literature. I would like you to attend. Come and get to know about their requirements. Perhaps you guys are graduating and you may need that. You may need to know about different career path, and also if you intend to do a master's, Jordan can be a choice, a good one. We have very good relationships with them. We can help you navigate your MA uh, path if you intend to do. She's going to, of course, talk about the Jordan branch and also the other MA programs across the Arab Open University, because we do have other programs for example, in Egypt, they do have a program, and I think it's also translation, literature, and they also have TEFL. They have a TEFL MA, a very robust program. So try to come. Joyce, may I ask you to share the timetable with them? And I would like you to also invite our other graduating colleagues. I don't know all of them because I only teach this class. Can you ask them to also attend and share the timetable with them؟ يعني
Sure, doctor.
الدال على الخير كفاعله زي ما بيقولوا. It would be a very good opportunity for people who are exploring MA opportunities, inshallah. So it's going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, and I don't know when it will be. I think it's the second slot, because tomorrow we have two slots. One um, exploring a novel by Dr. Sayed, and the second one is going to be Dr. Alal. Let me double check and get back to you, inshallah. Sorry. So this was a side note. Let's talk about Tom's Midnight Garden. I remember that I have shared a video with you. It's a very comprehensive one. Yeah, and it's a little bit long, but it's very comprehensive, and it gives us clear glimpses into what we are in for. But did you have the opportunity to watch the video on Tom's Midnight Garden, everyone? Hmm.
Almost
Yes,
half
sir.
of it, doctor.
No. Okay, nice. Anybody else? Okay. Like perhaps it was a short notice. I sent it like an hour ago or so. Do watch it, and I'm sure you're going to come up with lots of very nice insights into the novel, its different aspects. Okay, so it's Tom's Midnight Garden. Um, let me not assume that you haven't read it, that you haven't come across it at any point in your career. Did you at any point read Tom's Midnight Garden? Because it's a children's literature. Some of us as children may have read it. So have you by any chance read, or perhaps somebody else uh, read it for us as kids? Tom's Midnight Garden. Is the title familiar? Does it ring any bells? If it
No,
doesn't,
doctor, I
it
did
doesn't.
not read
That's
it,
that.
but
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Joyce.
Yeah, doctor. No, I did not read it, but I know it from my friends only.
Yeah, that's another way of, storytelling is not only in books. I mean, sometimes people read and they retell stories to other people. Okay, that's okay. So Tom's Midnight Garden. So I would like us to unpack the title before we start. Tom, Tom's apostrophe S, Midnight Garden. So let me perhaps write it in the chat and let's unpack the title. Tom's Midnight Garden. What's happening? Okay, so this is the title of the novel. Um, okay, so what does the title tell us about the novel? Tom's Midnight Garden.
There is someone called Tom.
Yeah, probably the protagonist, right?
Yep. And there is a garden.
And
And
there
there is
is
a
a garden.
time which is midnight.
Yeah, okay. These are obviously the most important aspects of a novel. If you have a novel, you have to have characters, and Tom happens to be one of them, right? And then you have to have setting, and setting here is time and place. The time is the garden, and the place is midnight, right? Of course, there may be more to the setting than just the garden and midnight, but perhaps this can give us a glimpse. So we're talking about a garden. What are the associations of a garden in the literature that we have been doing over the past 4 or 5 years? Gardens are good or bad news? What do you
Good
think?
news.
Yeah, good news. Yes, good news. Right? You go to a garden um, to perhaps to chill out, to have fun. And normally you want to have fun because um, perhaps you're escaping something. You have issues and problems back home, and you're trying to kind of fly from the here and the now back home, and you try to you're seeking a diversion, if you like, right? Isn't this a possibility that people go out because they feel stifled or confined at home? They go to a garden, or they sometimes they go to even El Bar here, for example. Why? Why would you go to El Bar here, for example? People go to El Bar to do what?
To
To enjoy
chill,
nature.
hang out with the family,
Yeah, come again, Munira.
to chill, to have family time.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Which means that you're trying to avoid and escape the worries and the cares of, um, daily life. Life is full of, um, you know, um, I wouldn't say bad things, but something happens in the job, for example, and you're tired from the job. You have issues with people at work. You have overwhelming tasks. So you need some diversion. You need to escape, to momentarily escape this reality and go to a place where you can sit, perhaps with other people, and talk. And you don't talk about work, of course. You talk about other things, light-hearted stuff. You crack jokes, you crack pranks on each other, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is what people do. They go to a bar, they go to a garden. they go to the sea, right? When was the last time you went to the sea, Joyce? Because you are in Jeddah.
Like a week ago.
A week ago. Were you kind of escaping something, exams and what comes with it? Those,
Definitely.
yes. Okay, let me ask our other colleagues. We also have a sea in the MAM. Do we have people from the MAM? And it's not the sea, it's the Gulf over there, right? So when was the last time that you went to the beach? People in the MAM.
Time in August.
Yeah, this was way back. Yeah, no. Lincoln. Is it that far away from where you live? Like, no, I know the MAM, يعني. It's
No,
not that
actually, it's
big.
not far. It's like 15 minutes away, but busy with university and work and
Mm,
kids.
yeah. But you need a diversion from time to time. So what is your
Y-
concept of a diversion? What do you do other than going to the beach? Yeah, Noor. Go to the mall?
Yeah, actually, I go to the mall shopping. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
So again, it's escaping those difficult life situations and the worries and the cares of daily life. If you're married, so you have kids and they have studying, you have to be with them. Sometimes we all have financial burdens. You have lots of bills, right? Let's talk to our friends in Riyadh. I think we have a good number of people in Riyadh. So what's your concept of diversion? Wissam, what do you do in order to escape or to kind of refresh away from the hustle and bustle of the job and what comes with it, overwhelming tasks, too many demands? Wissam.
Well, I was gonna say, living far away is like a disassociate and disconnect with the surrounding world. I mean, when you go somewhere only um, with yourself or someone close, it's like solidarity. I feel I don't know how to describe it, but um, a sense
Okay,
of
so you
calm.
you
Yeah,
go to a place, you go to a place, let me get this right. You go to a place for
yeah,
diversion and you go to people for solidarity. You want them to support you, right?
yeah,
You want to share, you want to open your heart, right?
exactly. And
Okay.
we mostly do it in our farm, which is in the urban places outside of Riyadh.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't
Good.
have seas or any any. Yeah,
Yeah, come to us, come to us, come to Jeddah. يعني we would love to
thank you
see you
for the
here in Jeddah,
invitation.
inshallah,
Thank you.
inshallah. طيب. Um, so this is what is happening. Actually, we have a garden, which is obviously not like any other garden because it's magical. So it's not that you're going to find a source of happiness and comfort in reality, a specific place that everybody goes to. We're talking about a magical garden. It's more or less like a magical carpet in the old literature, Alauddin and stuff. Um, and it's not static in the sense that it takes you um, to places you wouldn't imagine possible. It takes you to the past. Again, with the allure that comes with it. And lots of people have this wish and desire to go to the past. Sometimes they look up to somebody in history and they would like to go and meet him or her. They think of a glorious past in one of the ages and they want to go and live there. They would have liked to be part of that age. Okay? So I'm offering you this opportunity. Let's hypothetically uh, agree that we're having, that the Arab Open University is organizing a trip. Actually, two trips, to be more specific. So a trip to the future and a trip to the past. And you need to sign up. So I would like those who are going to join the trip to the past, I would like you to raise your hands. Okay. So only Noor and Joyce are going to go with us to the past, on the trip to the past. And I assume that the rest are going to go with us to the future. Raise your hands if you're going to be part of this trip to the future. Okay. Okay. So you either pay for the trip or give us your reasons. Obviously, going to the past is going to be very expensive. Equally, going to the future is going to be very expensive. So I would like us to, okay, in order for us to waiver that, I would like you to tell us why you would like to go to the past, and those who would like to go to the future, they can also tell us why. So let's start with the past. Those who would like to go to the past. And let me first of all ask each individually which past, if you can pinpoint an age or an era, and you tell us why. Let's start with Noor.
Yeah, I would go back to the years between 2020 and 2022.
That's
Yeah,
too re
because
that's too recent. This is not the past that I have in mind. But
no,
anyway,
actually,
that's yeah, okay. Go on.
because it's the time where I was spending most of my time with my dad, and after that he passed away. So yeah,
الله يرحمه وربنا يغفر له يا رب. أيام
آمين.
جميلة فالدعاء فيها يعني مستجاب إن شاء الله.
آمين يا رب.
Mm. Okay, that's very legitimate. Thank you, Noor. Joyce, how about you?
Well, I prefer maybe the Renaissance period because
Mm,
I'm so super interested in art and stuff like that. And that was the period where, you know, was so booming about the art and about the science and the literature and,
mm.
Shakespeare and Galileo and all these people. So I'm interested in seeing this in real life, not just read about it.
Nice. Okay. So I leave it at that with you guys, people of the past. But after I finish with the future, people will come back to you and tell you why you didn't choose the future. You better be ready, okay? Let's move to the future. People who are signed up for the future trip with us. Can you give us your reasons why you would like to go on? I mean, we are already in the future. And you have seen AI and what it's doing to us. I don't know what else is going to happen that is not happening already. Okay, let's have Wissam.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, you're signed up with us into the
Yes.
future, right?
If I were to go to the future, it's
Mm.
probably to see how I'm gonna do. I mean, uh, work-wise, to see if I can improve myself in the present.
You mean you would like to see yourself probably 10 to 20 years from now?
Let's stick to 5 years for now, not 10 to
Mm.
5. Yeah.
But you can almost tell. You make your own future. Yeah, Wissam. And mashallah, you're doing an excellent job already. You can almost tell that, inshallah, you're going to be a bright star in 5 years.
Yes, inshallah.
Inshallah.
We're hoping for.
Mm. Can we have other people? Munira?
Uh, I
You
don't
did
know really. I
you
didn't think about it very much.
mm,
Yes, but if I think I want to see what will happen in the future about what and the technology where what this one will develop up to.
mhm.
But
On the personal level, I mean, would you, so what is it that you would like to achieve in perhaps 5 to 10 years from now?
of course, I want to develop myself. I want to learn more skills in order to develop,
Mm,
exploring new things in life. That's it.
nice. Okay, well, I think we have room for one more, people of the future.
Me, doctor.
Yeah, Reem, go ahead.
I want to be in the future to see myself a filthy rich.
What? To see yourself what?
Rich. Rich
Rich?
woman.
Okay, that's legitimate, and you need to start from now, right? You need to work for that.
Yeah, yes, actually, I have a plan.
Okay, طيب ممتاز. That's a very interesting endeavor. Okay, طيب let's go back to the people of the past and those who would like to go to the past. Why didn't you choose the future, Joyce?
Well, I'm fed up from all the modern stuff. And although I'm
Mm,
so into tech and, all this modern stuff, but I think it's better to take a break and actually go and see life before all this technology and the modern and
mm,
appreciate things as simple as, like doing everything and firsthand.
mm,
All these, let's say, authors or painters or artists, whatever, they did it on their own without any help of AI or, any new technology. So it's like pure talent. So it's
mm.
better to go and watch these stuff like firsthand.
Nice, good. How about you, Noor? Why didn't you choose the past? Is it your passion and love, your overwhelming love for your father? That's why you're seizing
Yeah,
every single
exactly.
opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's why.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Fine. This is amazing. Actually, the journey that we have, the trip that we have in the book is to the past. And again, I'm saying that our point of departure is always that we're escaping, and not in a negative sense, because the overtones and the associations of the word escape would mean that you yourself is an escapist. You're trying to, instead of facing up to the challenge, you're trying to evade it and fly away from it. No, this is not what we mean. When we talk about escape, we're talking about this sense of seeking refuge. You're seeking momentary, momentary refuge or momentary diversion, so that you can get refreshed again. You try to energize yourself and energize your batteries, if you like. So this is exactly what Tom is going to do. Whether he willed it or not, whether he was aware or it was put in front of him, this is obviously the subject of another day. The focus would be on Tom, obviously flying away from certain worries and problems and challenges that he is facing, and somehow there is a garden that is going to take him to the past. Obviously, it didn't take him to the Renaissance period like Joyce wanted. It took him to the Victorian age. Okay, so perhaps the novel was set in the Victorian age itself. No, it was set in the late 50s and the early 60s of the past century, 20th century. So, what normally novels reflect what is happening in society. That's why we normally study the background of the age. That's remember when we spoke about context and we said that context matters, right? So obviously, Tom is reflecting the spirit of his age. He can be representing kids like himself, but he can be representing people of all ages and demographics. So what was happening that would prompt Tom and his likes and his elks to think of traveling back in time to the past? Obviously, something was irritating him and his generation. So, from our experience and from what we know about history, if the novel was set in the 50s, so what happened in England and in Europe in the 50s or a little earlier? When we talk about the 50s, so England and Europe were having what? Were coming out of what?
Second World War.
The Second World War. It is true that England or Britain, for that matter, emerged victorious, but that wasn't without a very heavy cost. If Hitler had his way, the British could be speaking German now, right? It's only the miscalculations of Hitler, not the brilliance and the smartness of the English, obviously, right? So they emerged victorious from the Second World War, it is true, but obviously the infrastructure was demolished because of the heavy bombing of Hitler's planes and fighters. Obviously, when you come out, your economy during war and after is a war economy where everything is geared towards war, the army and war, everything. It's like I said, it's an economy of war or a war economy. So you wouldn't expect to have the things that you are used to in terms of even groceries, in terms of life necessities. And so life was hard for people in post Second World War England or Britain. So people felt squeezed and felt confined and felt deprived. Of course, government propaganda would portray a different image. They would promise you the world and life is going to be this and that, but and the actual reality is a different. Reality on the grounds is obviously too different. So Tom and the novel is a product of that age. We're talking about post Second World War Britain. People are disillusioned, they are frustrated, and literature has to voice this out. And this is exactly what the novel is telling us. So, moving back to the past is an attempt upon the part of the writer to give people the diversion and the momentary escape that they need so that they can kind of um, avoid thinking of what is happening um, at the time in terms of financial hardships, difficulties of all sorts. Okay. The choice of the Victorian age is not abrupt or random. Again, from our experience, we've done enough Victorian literature, and whenever we talk about the Victorian age, we talk about it in very positive terms, in terms of values and in terms of wealth and prosperity, and the fact that, remember, there was technology, talking about the Industrial Revolution. We're talking about the British Empire and how it expanded beyond Europe. Remember, they had this very vast terrain that we call India. India was theirs. India would have been enough for them because of its treasures, whether those treasures are mineral or food or wealth. So they had India. They had other places in North America and the Caribbean. They went all the way to Africa and Egypt. So it was a huge empire, and they had wealth and money, and they also had good education, and so they had values that they have always kind of stuck to. So it was a glorious. If you ask the English people about that period, they would look lovingly back on. Perhaps they would have nostalgic tears over those happy old days in the Victorian age. So moving to the Victorian age was for very good reasons. Okay, so we have this journey, and obviously it's through this garden, the magic garden. So Tom is going to be able to travel all the way back to the Victorian age and mix with people there and talk and have fun, have insights and knowledge. And obviously, you need a companion. In all literature, whenever there is this idea of travel, whenever there is this idea of moving from one place to another, seeking something or looking for something, you normally have um, someone, you have a companion. We have seen that in Candide. Remember, you did Candide at one point, where you have Candide himself and you have his companion, Pangloss, right? And even when he went to El Dorado, he took what's the name of this guy that he don't remember. So again, this is a stable of journey literature. You normally have a support character, somebody who is there perhaps for the main character to talk to so that we can get to know more about the main character. So the one that is going to actually accompany um, Tom on this trip is called Hattie, and Hattie is a girl. And at one point, you would feel that Hattie is even more important than Tom himself. That through Hattie, we are given the opportunity to see more about the Victorian age, about life in general. So it's through the companionship of Hattie that Tom is going to learn and grow. So that when we meet him at the end of the novel, he's totally changed. He changed beyond recognition, not in terms of age, because he's going to remain the child that we have always known him. In terms, he changed in terms of the level of awareness, and knowledge that he now has. Again, it's through the exposure to the life of Hattie and what she has gone through, because Hattie is going to change. Hattie at the beginning is totally different from the Hattie that we will meet at the end. We're going to discover that Hattie is not a child. She was a child when we first saw her, but she is actually a grown woman who had who was married, and her sons were killed in the war, and she has a family, and she actually belongs to the Victorian age. Um, so again, if we have that, if we agree that there is this trip or journey to the past, and obviously this is magical, this is imagination and its power, and because we're so soaked and steeped in the drab realities of every day, we would dismiss this as what? This is what? This is magical, this is fancy and fantasy, and sometimes we cannot afford it because we're so steeped in the realities of the everyday. So, in order for us to savor and appreciate what we're going to see, we have to suspend our disbelief, right? You have to momentarily accept that this may happen, that people may go to the past, right? And that people may do stuff in the past and then come back to the present. Okay? So it's all about traveling all the way to the past for good reasons. Again, we're talking about the background of the novel where people were so fed up with the war. It is true that the war ended, but its consequences are very visible in all the aspects of life of the British people: economy, lack of jobs, lack of opportunities. Um, so obviously, Tom reflects that, reflects this need for people to momentarily escape their drab everyday reality. Again, it would have been escape if Tom stayed there, but to come back and to start afresh is perhaps the reason why we wouldn't call it pure escape. Or perhaps we would drop the word escape and use some other term or word. We would say that it's a diversion. We would say that it is you're seeking momentary relief, um, solace, solidarity, so that you can start afresh, perhaps stronger than before, more open to the world and to life and what comes with it. So going to the past was for you to refuel, if you like, to energize yourself, and then you come back to even learn. Because if you look at the trajectory of the journey from the present to the past, you're going to see that Hattie is talking and is sharing her traumatic experiences. So, in order for you to learn new lessons, you don't have to experience hardships yourself. You can read about those hardships. You can listen to them from somebody who got hit by them. And in this case, you can learn a thing or two. So you don't have to actually experience them. And this is exactly what happened to Tom. It is true that before the journey, he had those problems and issues, being separated from his brother, because his brother was contracting measles, I think, a disease or something. So they had to separate Tom away from his brother. And obviously, this was quite traumatic for him. That's why we have the journey, we have the garden, and he escaping to the past. But you wouldn't compare those hardships, if we can consider them hardships, to the hardships that Hattie went through, actual hardships. Sons who got killed, parents that got killed, lots of things, tragic as they were, happened to Tom. So they didn't happen I'm sorry, to Hattie. I'm sorry, they didn't happen to Tom, but Tom was given the opportunity through this journey to the past to see and listen to what Hattie had to say about them, and he got affected. So when he comes back with this knowledge, with this awareness, he becomes different. When he goes back from the past, um, and because he is now where he started in the present, Hattie and her role is diminished. She was meant by the writer to take him on this journey of knowledge, this journey of awareness. So now that he is back into reality, there is no role for her anymore. That's why she is going to appear in a different shape and in a different color. She's going to appear to him as the landlady of the house he lived in, and that it was all that she was Mrs. Persolomu, the landlady, the old landlady. So this was meant to tell us her role is over. She did what she was assigned to do, to give him glimpses into the past and give him glimpses into life and its difficult manifestation so that he can learn a lesson or two. So when he arrives back in the present, there is no dramatic need for Hattie. That's why she is going to vanish and perhaps become somebody else. Older, because making her older wouldn't allow him the opportunity to perhaps uh, um, think of when they grow up, they get married and live together, and right. So she's already old when he meets her again in the present. So he has to um, kind of put his act together and think of the future, which he does. Again, he has this kind of support, this kind of fuel. He now is different. He is now more mature, more knowledgeable about the ways of the world, more uh, uh, enabled. He can now face up the challenges of life. And one of those challenges would be to overcome the trauma of being separated from Hattie, his companion for so long. He's going to come to terms with the fact that Hattie is no more and he has to move forward, which he did. See? So, this is what the whole idea is about. Again, this novel was written, like I said, in order to reflect this feeling of alienation and estrangement and disillusionment that British people had towards the government, towards those elite ruling classes. Again, it's because of the Second World War and what the war left. Okay, so the novel provides a momentary diversion, a momentary escape, or a momentary relief. You go to a different time, a time that is glorious. You live there. You feel what people feel over there. So when you have enough fuel, when you have your energies or batteries energized, you go all the way back to the present, refueled, ready to take on life with its different challenges. This is perhaps is the takeaway from this very interesting novel that we have. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, so what do we want to do ahead? Moving ahead, we would like to read the novel. Perhaps I have spoiled it for you, like I always do, but this was meant to introduce you to the novel. I think we need to have an extra class before we break for the holidays, and I think we're not meeting next week or the week after because of the Eid holidays. So I would like us to have another class, another extra class. So when do you think we can have that? So today is Monday. Can we have something? Yeah, let's agree. Would you like it to be Wednesday or Thursday? Like Thursday, I normally have this. Okay. If we agree all on Thursday, that's fine. Okay. So can we have that on Thursday at 2 p.m.?
Yeah, it's fine, doctor.
Okay. So Thursday at 2 p.m. Can you write that on the WhatsApp group so that yeah, listen, don't we have listen. Don't we have the master class? So wait.
Yes, I was about to ask you.
Yes,
We have the
yes,
master class, but the
yes.
majority will be doing another exam. Like I think
Oh,
the majority of those who are taking part B, they have part A. And our exam is on Thursday morning, 9:30.
what kind of exam? You mean you
The
mean
midterm.
midterm? I'm sorry. They will have the exam in the morning, but we can have the master class in the afternoon, like like we're agreeing now. So it can be a master. The extra class can be a master class at 2 on Thursday, 2 p.m. How about that?
Fine by me, doctor.
Everyone? Okay, طيب ممتاز. So
Yeah,
we're
fine,
moving.
doctor.
Yeah, nice. ممتاز. So we're moving the master class from 9 to the afternoon. We're going to do it at 2 p.m. inshallah. And we'll try to finish as much yeah, as we can with Tom's Midnight God. I would encourage you to read it. You're going to enjoy it يعني all the same, regardless of what I said. I mean, reading it, looking at the style of the writer herself and himself, I'm sorry. That's lovely. Okay, I'll see you on Thursday. يلا, السلام عليكم. Bye bye.